What's cracking, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. New video. This is not going to be a Tory Lanez video. For those of you guys that have said, that's enough already. But the Tory Lanez incident has opened my eyes, and I think it's opened other content creators that have been in prison. It's opened their eyes as well to how little people really know about how California prisons work. There are a lot of people in the comments that are making comments that are like, what? And it's either they've never been to prison, they've never had a loved one or friend or family member in prison out here, or they're just not from California. But it trips me out how they speak with like authority in their comments. And I'm going to give you an example. I saw one today, and a guy was saying something about how he's going to play devil's advocate in regards to Tory Lanez. And he said, something along the lines like, do you really think that every inmate has a choice on whether or not they're placed on SNY? And somebody actually co-signed his comment and said, yeah, you're right, whatever, right? And it was just another one of those comments that left me scratching my head and just like, people really don't know California prisons. So to address that off the top, in California, no one, let alone a multimillionaire, but no one is accidentally placed on SNY. If someone who is active was accidentally placed on SNY in California, and then he goes out to the yard and he stabs somebody, the CDC is liable for that. That is a huge lawsuit. And, I hear people, they talk about how more than half of the prison yards now in California are SNY yards, right? And they talk bad about California because of that. But they don't understand the politics of California prison yards. There is absolutely no doubt whatsoever that the level 4 SNY yards in California are deadlier than probably any other prison yards in the United States of America. And the proof is in the pudding. If you look at all the murders that are happening in the California Department of Corrections, the majority of them are on the SNY yards. When I see these comments about how this group needs to retaliate for Tory Lanez and that group needs to pay, like it's so weird because, like I've tried to explain over and over and over, Tory Lanez was not on a GP yard. I don't know why anybody thought he would be. I guess he was trying to say he was. But the fact that anybody could look up his location and see that he was in Tehachapi, then they would know. He's not on a GP yard. And let me explain something. A guy can be on GP, get into a wreck, whatever the reason being, where he goes SNY, right? That dude, if he was seasoned and he had a certain education level as far as his criminality, a certain sophistication to him because of what he was involved in on the GP yards, he can take that sophistication and that education and be placed on any yard and know how to conduct himself, know how to carry himself, know how to address situations, how to handle business. The opposite doesn't apply though. You're not going to have a dude that's S and Y hit a GP yard, apply S and Y thinking on the GP yard. Not going to happen. That dude's going to get hit. You know, somebody shot me a clip of Lucky from Hoodstocks talking about this Tory Lanez thing, and he was talking about S and Y yards and the dangerousness of it. And he was right. You know, when people are on GP yards out here in California, right? There are protocols, there's rules, there's parameters, right? This is what's expected. This is how you respond to something. This is how you react to something. If there's an issue, you go to this person or that person. It gets, there's a lot of, I don't want to say safety nets, but there's a lot of different measures. A man can't just put his hands on another man. Not if you're Mexican or white. It has to go through the proper channels. But the S and Y, if somebody wakes up thinking they're all that for some reason, there's somebody else that's going to remind them violently that they're not. I remember being, when I first started my time, and I remember talking to homies that we were in YA together. And we were right there on the yard, New Folsom Beef Facility. And we were people watching on the yard, and seeing certain people, how they conducted themselves, and us being YA babies, we could see through it. And we'd laugh about it. Like, imagine if that vato was Impossible with us or YTS with us. All that tough act be out the fucking window. But the flip side to the politics and the parameters and the rules, regulations that each faction applies to their own people, it's the reason why you don't hear about sexual assaults in California prisons. Not on no GP yard. There's no bullying allowed. You can't just fist fight in the cell like you and your Sally have an exchange of words. Nah, man. Don't get me wrong. People do it. If they get found out, they got to answer to that. Being incarcerated in a California prison is no joke. I had planned on doing a different video, but I'm going to try to stick to what I was saying, where, yesterday's video, I said, let's wait until Tuesday to get back involved in the drama. So I wanted to do a video that provokes some thoughts. For anybody who sees this video who may be dabbling in criminality, struggling with something, and you think you might need to bust a lick to get right, to get you on your feet, whatever, it ain't worth it. I mention it a lot, and I'm going to mention it again here. A long, long time ago, an OG told me, it don't take a man to survive prison no more. This was in 1995, he told me this. He said they got a place for everybody in the CDC. If you're a killer, they got a place for you. You're a gangster, they got a place for you. If you're a punk or a rat, they got a place for you. He said, I don't know what it is about us, homie, but we just can't make it out there on the streets. He said, real men are taking care of their families, Holmes. What we do, it don't take a man to do this. And so I'm sharing that with you right now. This is why, after everything I've been involved in, the criminality, the violence, the standoffs, we can call them, I'm not impressed by criminality. I'm not impressed by violence anymore. It's a damn shame when people have to revert to violence for anything. I'm impressed by dudes that are out here working 2 damn jobs, owning a business, creating a future for their families, for themselves. That's the stuff that impresses me. You get around any real killers behind those walls, they're impressed by the same thing. Words never impress anybody. That's my video for today, man. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Everybody, please be safe, be smart, and tell the ones you love that you love them, man. I'm out of here.